Hello. How to stop bloating as a woman over 50 and 4 reasons why it's happening in the first place and what you can do about it. Hi, I'm Lori Ballou, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, and I am here to help you understand this process because it happens to a lot of people. Do you have like swollen, feel swollen, feel full after eating, feel bloated, maybe you're constipated, you've got gas, you've got belching, burping. Oh my gosh, this is a real thing and it does happen. And so many people are suffering, but it's all because of the diet you're eating. And this is what's happening. 1, poor digestion. 2, gluten sensitivity. 3, dysbiosis and microbiome disruption. And 4, poor bile flow and gallbladder dysfunction. And it all kind of comes together in a whole body reset. Like if you were to do a metabolic reset, like if you're working with my low carb method, these are all the things that we're going to address. So I'm going to address them here just to kind of do a little quick jumpstart on what you can do and why it's happening, and to let you know that you don't have to suffer. So first of all, poor digestion. It's, that's one of the first things you need to focus on. Is your digestion functioning? Are you getting a digestive enzyme because your digestion isn't functioning? But what's causing your digestion not to function? It could be low stomach acid. That's the biggest one. And so if you have low stomach acid and you're not digesting your food, that's a big problem, and that can cause you to have more gas and bloating. And if you're not digesting that food and that food is it's taking longer to get the food out of your stomach, your sphincter muscle isn't opening up to let the food out. You might even have some belching and some burping coming up, and you might feel some acid burn. That's another part of this. And low stomach acid could also be a stomach bacteria called H. pylori. H. pylori is prevalent in 50% of the population, and a lot of my clients have H. pylori. And so that could be something that could be causing you to have low stomach acid. But part of that too is, that poor bile flow and gallbladder dysfunction kind of goes along with low stomach acid, because when you stop eating fat and protein, your gallbladder stalls out, doesn't work as well. I think it's there's a big fancy word for that, cholestasis. It's kind of a big word. But basically, it just means your bile function isn't functioning, your gallbladder is stagnant, and you're not eating the fat and the protein your body is designed to eat. And that's what the gallbladder and the bile flow is supposed to support. It's supposed to support your digestion. But if you're not eating the foods that we are designed to eat, and you're eating too many processed foods, then all of this breaks down. And digestion isn't functioning, bile isn't functioning, low stomach acid happens. And if you get low stomach acid and you can't kill off your bad bacteria, because your stomach is your first line of defense in your gut. And when you eat your food, it's supposed to be sterilized by stomach acid. So it's not about having low stomach acid. The problem with GERD and high stomach acid, and I'm going to address this more later, is low stomach acid. And so we want to correct stomach acid. That's one of the things that needs to happen, and that is a diet shift. Then there's going to be a gluten sensitivity that's going to cause all kinds of havoc in your body, and you're going to react to different foods. I just got a call today from my nephew stating gas and bloating, constipation. What do I do? Let me do a detox and all this other stuff. And just being aware of what you are eating is a big thing. And so if you're eating a lot of bread, a lot of pastas, a lot of the standard American fare, the sad American diet is the sad American disease. You will get the disease if you eat the diet. And so this is all a breakdown of the digestive system and breakdown of the gut. And that's from a functional nutrition standpoint and point of view. We want to run a food sensitivity test, find out what your food sensitivities are, do that elimination of the foods you're sensitive to, support digestion, get your gallbladder functioning, support your liver. And then, this is the other one, 3, is going to, or I might be on 4 by now. I think I've lost count. So 1 was digestion. There was 2 was poor bile flow and gallbladder function. 3 was gluten sensitivity is huge. Food sensitivities are huge. And so you want to correct and do a diet shift. And then the 4th one is going to be more dysbiosis. That's going to be developing from microbiome breakdown. You could be getting, you have that SIBO, because when you have low and poor stomach digestion or stomach acid, you're getting more overgrowth of whole foods getting into the smaller intestine, causing overgrowth. SIBO is a small intestinal bacterial overgrowth that can lead to all kinds of inflammation and complications inside your gut. And so you don't want that. That is really bad. And that could, one of the symptoms of that could be rosacea. So if you've got rosacea, you probably have SIBO. And another one is constipation that can't be relieved. And so if you have a lot of constipation, it could be that. And there's lots of things we can do to support constipation, but finding out too what's going on in your body, what's underneath, is testing. Test, don't guess. So you're running your food sensitivity test, you're running your GI map stool test to find out what's going on in your gut. You want to make sure that that dysbiosis that's developing is handled and managed. And so we need to take out the food sensitivities. We need to make sure there's not Candida. That you don't feed your Candida. Candida can be a beneficial bacteria if it's in a minute amount. So it's always in us. And it's supposed, just like E. coli. E. coli is good and E. coli can be bad, but we want the good E. coli. We don't want the pathogenic E. coli. We need a balance between our gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria. And so this is one of the things I'm going to call them too. The terms are like Firmicutes bacteria. So that starts with an F, so call that your fat bacteria. When you eat foods that are processed in white and highly refined, you're feeding your fat bacteria. And what they're going to do is help you store that energy away as fat. And so they collect more of that energy and store it away as fat for you. And so then there's the Bacteroides, which is your good bacteria, your skinny bacteria, and they're going to work with you to help correct your microbiome. Your commensal bacteria, they're going to help you keep your bacteria clean and your gut clean and working the way you need it to reduce inflammation in your body. And so what you eat has a direct correlation on bloating, that gas, that belching, that fullness. And those are the reasons why, from a functional nutrition point of view, you want to look at this as a whole body reset. You can't just treat a symptom. You can't just turn on, take those little purple pills, Pepsid, whatever those are called. You don't want to live on that stuff. That can be temporary. But basically the problem is you have to change your diet. And so when you change your diet, you support your health. And when you support your health, you're going to get this better feeling overall. And that's how you lead. That's what leads to better weight loss processes. So if your weight loss is stalled, if you're having a plateau, maybe you've lost 20 pounds and you're just stuck, look at what you're eating. It could be the food sensitivities. It could be your gut dysbiosis. You haven't maybe healed and sealed the gut. You don't have the right bacteria in your gut. Maybe you're not getting the right amount of fat to help support your gut, because fat helps to nourish your gut bacteria, believe it or not. And sugar causes a disruption. And so sugar causes this disruption. Fat actually protects and feeds your good bacteria and creates butyrate, short chain fatty acids, to nourish your good bacteria. So that's your skinny bacteria. We want good skinny bacteria. We want to not feed the fat bacteria. We want to correct bile flow so that it functions. If you stop eating the fat, the protein, it's sometimes harder to bring those foods back in. It is harder to bring it back in. So you have to retrain your body to eat those foods, and using a digestive enzyme is going to help you break your food down and your fat down and help you get that better digestion. That's the process. So it can be pretty exciting for me to actually go after all of this and get you supported so that you can start feeling better. So there's no reason why you need to have gas and bloating, especially as a woman over 50. This is the time we want to take back control of our life, reclaim the second half of our life, reset everything. And it should be kind of like when you hit 50, this is what you do. You get into a health adventure. You start looking at health as a hobby, and you start your low-carb method. My holistic low-carb method will guide you into or out of all of that and correct all of that, not just a symptom like the medical system does. You get to be supported back into homeostasis the best you can by using diet and food for your body. That's what's going to happen. And that's where we're at. And so my client recently was telling me how she no longer has to lay down after eating, that she don't feel so bloated and dysfunctional. And all you got to do is stop eating the foods that are causing the problem, and you're going to get better. So if you want to get this implemented, give me a call, check the links, and let's get you started. And talk to you soon. Bye.